Welcome, beautiful people. My name is Marika Gay, and this is the Inspiration Trilogy podcast, a platform for women across the globe to come together and share wisdom and advice and just have some meaningful conversations. So today's guest is Kellie Gilbey, who is an entrepreneur of multiple businesses. You're a master EFT practitioner, and you also have studied Reiki. So welcome to the show. It's great to have you here today.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. Absolute pleasure.
Beautiful. So tell the listeners a little bit about yourself and your journey and how you got to where you are.
Okay, so I woke up one day. I'm originally from the UK, and I woke up when I was 26 years old and cried on my 26th birthday because I felt I'd done nothing with my life.
Yeah.
So a friend of mine said to me, I'm going to Thailand for 4 weeks. Why don't you come on this gap experience? So I signed up for that, went to go, and then she couldn't make it. And then I was like, oh my God. So I just made the decision to go on my own anyway. And then I have a sister who lives in New Zealand. So then I extended my ticket. I ended up buying a round the world ticket.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. I got on the plane and literally haven't looked back. It was a massive turning point in my life. So I traveled through various countries, meeting various people. And then I ended up in all places, initially Esperance, where I was working in a bar and I met a guy who was a kangaroo shooter. And he said, I know, I've never met another one. Ivan is the only one I've met. So he asked me if I could cook, and I said, oh, not really, maybe a little bit. And he said, would you be interested in going working out on a cattle station as a cook? So I said, yep, I'll give it a go. It was one of the best jobs I've ever had. I was in the middle of nowhere. I didn't want for anything, but I couldn't get my visa through that. So I ended up going to milk cows over in East Gippsland. I tell you what, right, if ever there's a life lesson, it's definitely with cows, because if you can stand and get covered in shit all day, you can do anything. They literally poo on you.
Oh no. Well, you've got some really interesting experiences there. That's crazy. I love the spontaneity of just like, yeah, whatever, just take it as it comes and go.
Yeah, well, that's throughout my life, that's actually worked really well for me in some instances, but then in others not so much. But that's another story. So I ended up, when I went out on the cattle station, I met a gentleman who then became my husband. I went to live in Kalgoorlie, mining town in WA, and I couldn't really get work. I ended up working in a corner shop for $15 an hour, and I worked there from 4 a.m. until 8 a.m. in the morning. And
wow.
I've always been such a contribution. I've always been very independent. So I wanted to be more of a contribution to my relationship. Obviously, the life I was living with my partner at the time before we were married, and then we ended up getting married. But like, I wanted to be a contribution to that, and pay for the food shopping a bit more and take us on holidays, contribute in that kind of way, a bit of lifestyle, I guess you'd put it.
Yeah.
So it was my partner's boss's wife at the time, Leanne Chris, she said to me, why don't you put a sign up in a shop window for cleaning? And I was like, oh, that's a good idea. So I got my pen and paper and put up $20 an hour cleaning. Had no idea what I was doing. Bought a push bike from Kmart, and literally that is how I started my cleaning business. I used to cycle all over Kalgoorlie. Like,
that's so cool.
And Boulder. Yeah, I know, my little backpack full of water. And like, the funny story, I had the best tan and legs that year I've ever had in my life. Like,
you did.
It was amazing. I was in such good shape. And then and then eventually I got into the mines. But before that, like, for 2 whole weeks, I cycled with my handlebars on the wrong way round because I'd put my bike together myself. But I was unstoppable. Like, I was building my business. But yeah, and at the time,
that's so awesome. I just love that story.
I know, but And another thing, at the time, I had no idea I was even building a business. I was just like, well, I had nothing. So, I created that for myself. And I just had no idea the impact I was having on my own life. And, my partner at the time, building a business. I didn't even know I was a businesswoman, which was quite funny, which was another thing I had to come to terms with. But shortly after that, I had some contracts in the mines. And then since then, I've gone on to create 3 separate 6-figure incomes. And like I said, I never saw myself as a businesswoman.
Yeah, and I guess you kind of don't. I mean, you just start off on an idea and you kind of grow from it. And it just see where it takes you. And sometimes, it takes you all the way along that path, and things just grow and develop, and before you know it, it's a completely different life. So
yeah. And it took someone else telling me. I think, and it was round about the time I met you, so it was quite a while on, because I started my business in 2011 initially. And then I think I met you maybe 2-3 years ago, was it? Maybe even longer.
I think it was 4 years ago.
4 years ago, yeah.
Yeah.
So it even took that time for me to, and for someone else to say, oh, you are a businesswoman, for me to really accept that title. So yeah, it's been an interesting experience. Definitely. So.
Yeah, it's such a journey of personal growth when you own a business as well, and things develop like they have for you. So I just love that you started on a bike in Kalgoorlie, and you've gone on to do all the things you do, and working on those cattle stations and all the really quirky, amazing, beautiful things that you've done. I think it's so awesome, and it's really sort of made you the person that you are today. And it just shows that no matter where you find yourself, with determination and perseverance, I mean, you can have anything you want. You just have to get out and give it a go and see where it takes you. And sometimes being spontaneous is the answer, not always, like you said. But sometimes I've done the same thing, and sometimes in life, and I've just made spontaneous decisions, and that's it. And the next day, like one a few years ago, I was trying to get pregnant, and it was having a few issues, and I was feeling really down about it. And I just thought, I just need to get away. And I got straight on my computer. I booked a holiday to Cambodia, and within a couple of days I was off. And that was really life-changing for me, because it's so beautiful over there. And I went, to all the temples, and I got a water blessing and all this kind of stuff. And it was just so transformed. I came back a completely different person, and so relaxed. And it wasn't long after that I just got pregnant. Like, sometimes you just, go with what you need. And it's, because, you get caught up in life, and you just, Anyway.
More than anything. Yeah, definitely. So look, and it's so freeing. It's freeing.
It is. It really is. And I've always been a free spirit. I hate being held down and confined and told to be a certain way when I've never really fit that box.
Same.
Yeah. So look, and now sort of coming into your 40s, so how did that change in regards to your own self-reflection, and what inspired you to start your new business, which is the Elysian element? I'm not sure. What does Elysian mean again?
So Elysian is beautiful or creative and divinely inspired, peaceful and perfect. So the theory and the element can mean a group of people of a particular kind within a larger group, or it can mean a small but significant amount of feeling or quality. And so my idea behind that is just creating this beautiful divine life, which is perfect for you, and and using these simple elements, these simple tools, simple strategies, and simple releases, and just keeping things very simple, but making such significant changes within people's lives. So oh,
that's beautiful. And I think as women, we get to this sort of midlife and you really do reflect back, and you work out what you really want and what you wished you had, and it's really the time to just make those changes. Work on yourself, grow as a person, and take life by the horns and, you know, ride it the best way you can, because life is short, right? You don't, it goes so fast. And I know that's really cliche, but it really does.
No, it's true. And it's true.
Yeah, before you know it, you're old and you're wrinkly and you're wondering how you got there.
That's why I get Botox these days.
Hey?
That's why I get Botox these days. I was just like, can you see my wrinkles? But yeah, for me, I think as well, like becoming really aware of my own thoughts, feelings, beliefs, and my behaviours. That was coming into my 40s, definitely that, because I think if you can confront yourself, you can confront anything.
And that can be one of the hardest things, right? But I mean, everybody's different, but there's parts of us that I guess we all hide at some point in our lives where we're growing up. Even if we're, you know, out in a group of people, we don't always want to be truly ourselves. I can be a bit crazy, so I try to keep the crazy in a bit.
That's why we're drawn to each other. You're not alone there, tell you.
But it's so freeing, and to just really connect with yourself on that deeper level. It's beautiful. So how has that changed you and your, I guess, thought process moving forward with life? Like, how has connecting to yourself really changed your view on where you want to go and what you want to do?
It's enabled me to get clear on what I want to do and why I want to do it, and also connecting with my true self and learning to love myself, and I mean really love myself and accept myself for who I am, how I am, and who I show up as, you know, as a person. Like, it's enabled me to have a really loving, trusting relationship. Which is, that itself is just, for me, that's next level, and has created another door, you know, in my life, and created new possibilities and that kind of thing. And then within my business, it's like, it's given me balls. Like, I never used to chase money. I used to be, you know, let things slide, but now actually I show up for myself within my business. And I mean, you still have days where you hit obstacles, roadblocks, struggles, but you can deal with things differently when you know where you want to go, and when you have all these tools like the Reiki and, you know, breathing techniques and, you know, journaling, all these new tools that you have in your tool bag. They not only help you in your personal life, but that you can use them in your business as well. So I think I've just grown so much as a person, and it's really starting to reflect now in my life.
And I can see that in you from when we met like 4 years ago. I think we were both just on the start of our journeys, and, you know, it's just so much has changed, and I can see you've grown so much, and it's so beautiful. You're just more grounded, and you're just yourself, I guess. And not that you weren't yourself back then, but you're comfortable in your skin, and you've got some beautiful things that you're doing. So tell us a little bit about what you have planned for the future, and where are things headed for you?
It's exciting. So as I mentioned, I've just invested today in a digital marketing program, which is going to not only help me, but I can help other people move forward in their businesses. So there's that's going to be coming up more on my socials, and also next month, so aiming for Monday the 13th of November, I'll be doing a self-love workshop on my private coaching page for the Elysian element. Because something happened to me when I'm not going to give it all away right now, but something happened to me when I was at home to do with my relationship, that made me realise all the work I've been doing, that I'd got there. I was like, oh my gosh, I've done this, I've nailed that. And it was just, and what it came over me, it was a complete feeling of peace. And I was fully aligned with who I was, where I was at, and what was going on. And I was just like, oh my God, I've done it, you know. So I wanna be able to share that with people. So I've got that. I'm also going to be relaunching my private coaching, my signature coaching program called Eunoia, creating a beautiful divine way of thinking. So yeah, lots of exciting things on the horizon. I'm really, really excited. Also expanding my cleaning business. We're looking to go more in the commercial side of things. So that's exciting as well. And yeah.
Beautiful, building your empire.
Yeah. And what I've really been trying to do, and I think we had a brief conversation about this the other day, is when I actually started my business, the cleaning business, my ex-mother-in-law, I still consider her my mother-in-law a little bit, Mariana, she said to me, where do you see yourself going? What's your plan? And I said, I'm going to get in the mines. And I kept saying, I'm going to get in the mines. She's like, yeah, but Kelly, how are you going to do that? You know, there's me on my push bike. And then a year later, they came over from Victoria and she went, well, bloody hell, you did it, didn't you? She said, you know, and I had no idea how I was going to get there, but that was just my goal. And I was fearless. I didn't know about bookkeeping. I didn't know about accounts. I didn't know about managing staff. I didn't know any of that. But I did it. So what I've been trying to do with my new goals, my new plans and ideas, I'm just trying to retap into that fearless and that like it's all, you're in the unknown, but you just know it's going to happen. You know, it's really, you know, you're in that in between, I guess, in the vortex. You don't know where you're going. It's like, but you're going to get there. how are you going to get there? But you're going to get there. So yeah, I've been really trying to retap into that. So that's been really fun experience as well. And, you know, manifesting and
beautiful. Oh, look, I love your story. I love what you're doing. I love, you know, how far you've come, and really you're just the epitome of strength and resilience, and it's beautiful. So anyone who wants to reach out to you and learn a little bit more about what's coming up and just have a chat, what's the best way to contact you?
So on my socials, I have got the Elysian Element page, and there is a link on there to my link tree where people can book in for Reiki. I'm only doing Reiki in person at the moment, but card readings and also the workshops and stuff are going to be, the links will be in there. So that's on my page, the Elysian Element on Facebook. And then there's the option to come into the private coaching group if you're looking for further content and wanting to grow that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and just to sort of finalize things up, so what is your favorite quote at the moment and why?
At the moment, I wrote it down. Yeah. So you're different was you're beautiful after all. You're different was you're beautiful all along. And the reason for me right now is because it took me a long time to learn to love myself and who I truly am. And, you know, if I could say anything to my younger self, it would be just be yourself, you know, be your true, authentic self. And, you know, it doesn't matter if you're different, you know, we're all different in our own way. So, you know, we're all beautiful equally in our own way. So, yeah, that's just really hitting home with me at the moment. So, yeah.
Oh, that's such a beautiful quote. I love it. And it is, being different is the most beautiful part of everybody because it makes you unique and who you are. And it's just, you know, it's beautiful. Look, I will be putting all the information and links and everything in the bio below. So if anyone wants to have a look at that, they can reach out to Kellie and go from there, see what she can offer you and maybe have some coaching. So thanks everyone for listening. Thanks for coming on board today, Kellie, and we'll have some more episodes up soon. Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye.